let's talk about what we saw. I was at the Alabama-Georgia game, the SEC championship game, as my wife's cats and kids' cats have suddenly infiltrated the house because somebody forgot to shut the door downstairs. So if you hear a cat in the background, that's not your house, that's my house.
I was going to say, I'd start to get nervous if I was looking around. I mean, I got a dog, and I'm sure she'd root out any cats that were in here, but it's good to know.
Furman, each of these cats cost me $1,000. I'm not even.
That's actually cheap. I figured you'd be the guy out there buying the ones that look like the Bengal cats. I know they're not legal everywhere.
That's what we have.
They're like a mini Jaguars.
Well, we have a Bengal. $1,000. They're hypoallergenic, and they have destroyed the entire house. We have 2 boys. Yes, they are. I'm allergic to cats because I have a soul and think that cats are awful. And so now we've got 2 of them. And they have destroyed everything in the house, and one of them just ran upstairs. So I was at Georgia-Alabama SEC championship game, and I was blown away. I felt really good. We talked about this before. Into the first quarter, my under and my Georgia Bulldog bet looked good. Then Alabama went off for 24 points in the second quarter, Furman. That's more points than Georgia had given up in an entire game. Bryce Young goes ahead and locks up the overall Heisman Trophy. There's not even any suspense at all.
Yeah, that thing's done.
Saturday's
That's
event.
Done.
And just eviscerates one of the elite defenses we had thought in modern college football history. So Bama's the 1. Michigan's the 2. They destroyed Iowa, although a tough beat if you had the under with Michigan scoring with about a minute to play. Then you have Georgia at the 3. Cincinnati at the 4. Bama opens as a 2-touchdown favorite over Cincinnati. You got Georgia around a 7.5 or 8-point favorite over Michigan. What stands out at you about the college football playoff mix right now? Do you expect, as I do, for it to be a Georgia-Alabama national title game in Indianapolis, which will be its own kind of wild universe because the Big Ten finally gets a national title game to be played in its footprint, and I think it's going to be a total infiltration, southern invasion of the city of Indianapolis.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the SEC teams are the class. I mean, you look at what Georgia has done all season long. I'm not going to say that was an anomaly performance from Georgia, but we've seen it time and time again with Alabama. When nobody gives them credit, everyone writes them off for dead. It's when they take that us against the world mentality. And you saw Nick Saban along with Bill O'Brien and that entire offense go full scorched earth, absolutely shredding Georgia defensively. And if you're Kirby Smart, you're probably spending Sunday in your office going, am I ever going to beat Alabama in a game that matters and finally get over the hump? Well, for Georgia, I think they'll at least get another crack at the Crimson Tide in that national championship game that you referenced. But this is a Michigan team as well, clicking on all cylinders. We saw how good Aiden Hutchinson could be as a one-man wrecking crew on the defensive side. Offensively, I mean, Michigan's offense in that first half, they were the beneficiary of 2 big plays and then kind of wore down the Hawkeyes over the final 30 minutes. I wonder what kind of damage they'll be able to do with some wrinkles in store for Georgia in one of the lower totals you're going to see in a college football playoff game. But I think these numbers are tight. I mean, I made Georgia more than a touchdown favorite. I think Michigan will garner a lot of attention given their current form and sudden skepticism people have about Georgia, specifically their offense, led by Stetson Bennett. Meanwhile, in the other semifinal, I mean, Cincinnati's got their hands full, but if you're going to be a group of 5 team and you're going to have a chance to go out there and make some history, you may as well tangle with the defending champions. You wonder if Alabama gets caught potentially looking past the Bearcats, but that just hasn't been in their program's DNA. So I think you're looking at Alabama and Georgia in a national title matchup. I'm not running, though, to bet either favorite. If I had to pick a side or total in the games right now, I'd actually begin to look over the total in Alabama and Cincinnati. I know Alabama will be without John Mechie, which changes things a little bit, but I think Cincinnati is going to be able to move the ball a little bit. And at 58, you're not asking for any massive performances from either of those 2 sides.